Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
For joining us here on the statewide Noon News, I'm Samantha Harrelson. Details about a violent attack within Yellowstone National Park have been released. One man is behind bars accused of attacking a woman in a bathroom and using bear spray on his victims. MTN's Mallory Peebles reports.
An affidavit says it was in this bathroom that a woman was attacked by a man named Jackson Coombs. The document also says he wrapped toilet paper around his face and neck, likely to conceal his identity. According to the victim, when she went to leave her bathroom stall, a man started banging on the door until the lock busted. She says that's when he started punching her in the face and she began calling for help. Her boyfriend rushed over and says a physical fight broke out where he was bitten twice by Coombs and bear sprayed in the face. However, all three were affected by the bear spray. Court documents say the female victim ran to get authorities and another man helped pin Coombs until rangers arrived. Coombs remains in custody in Wyoming. Reporting from Yellowstone National Park, I'm Mallory Peebles for MTN News.
And Mallory tells us court documents say Coombs was also in possession of a knife at the time of that attack. Well, in court news, a Helena man pleads guilty to murdering his parents in the Helena Valley back in March. Caleb David Taylor pleaded guilty to 2 counts of deliberate homicide in Lewis and Clark County District Court Wednesday morning. The bodies of David and Charla Taylor were found in their home by a family friend who had become concerned when repeated calls were not returned. Prosecutors allege that Caleb Taylor, along with several other people, burglarized his parents' business, and David and Charla confronted Caleb about the crime. Court records state on Sunday, March 18th, Caleb and 2 other men, Journey Weinecke and Kyle Ham, drove to the Taylor home. Investigators say Ham waited outside while Taylor and Weinecke went inside. Surveillance video from a car wash later shows Taylor and Weinecke washing off their shoes and all 3 cleaning out Taylor's pickup truck along with a long metal bar investigators believe is the murder weapon. Weinecke and Ham have pleaded not guilty to the crime. And a Missoula man is charged with leaving his child in a locked hot car in a grocery store parking lot earlier this week. 31-year-old William Adams is charged with felony criminal endangerment, misdemeanor criminal possession of dangerous drugs, and theft. Missoula police were dispatched to a grocery store Monday on a report that a child was locked inside a van that was not running and was strapped into a car seat. When police arrived, they found the 2-year-old child visibly in distress, crying and sweating profusely. Officers couldn't locate the driver of the van, so Missoula Fire broke the window to retrieve the child and transported him to the hospital. A short time later, officers arrested Adams as he was walking to his vehicle. During Adams' arrest, officers found a small plastic container with butane hash oil and 2 stolen candy bars. Park officials say a Pennsylvania man died on Friday while traveling along Going to the Sun Road. Glacier National Park spokeswoman Lauren Alley says the 78-year-old man died about 2 miles east of Apgar Village while traveling with friends. Witnesses traveling behind him reported he slumped over his handlebars immediately before the motorcycle left the roadway. Visitors immediately went to his aid, including a physician who found no pulse and initiated CPR. It's not known whether the death was caused by a medical emergency or the accident. The man was wearing a helmet at the time. And in other news this afternoon, police say they're puzzled and have no leads in the search for a Flathead Valley woman who's been missing for over a week. 23-year-old Alex Nicole Beltran was last seen on the evening of Monday, July 16th, leaving a friend's house on the west side of Kalispell. Flathead County Sheriff Chuck Curry says her phone died shortly after she went missing and her bank cards have been inactive. She was last seen driving her 1998 light green Toyota RAV. For anyone with information about her whereabouts is asked to call local law enforcement. And now switching gears, turning our attention over to Ed in the Weather Center. Ed, some storms last night. Could be some more tonight. What's going on out there?
Let's take a look because it's right down the central portion of Montana, Sammy. As we take a look at the satellite from last night, you can see the radar as the blue and gold flickers show you where we had the storms producing quite a bit of lightning, also some hail and some gusty winds. And it was on this path between around Shelby, Great Falls, down towards Havre, and then Harleton, extending down all the way into the northern portion of Wyoming. And at the same time, tonight, we have that same target area as we'll see some storms run down the east slopes of the Rockies and again producing the potential for strong to severe storms. We'll take a closer look at that and the rest of the forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Ed. Governor Steve Bullock announced Montana's budget picture has improved enough that the state government can reverse some of the cuts made over the last year. Bullock says leaders will be able to restore about $45 million to state agencies. Legislators approved about $76 million in cuts during last year's special session, but they included a provision which would restore some funding if state revenues came in higher than expected. And a health warning has been issued about products from a Missoula meat processor, saying the company distributed an unknown quantity of meats without inspection. The Montana Department of Livestock issued the warning this week about beef, pork, and chicken from K&C Foods following a suspension of inspection due to what the state is calling unsanitary conditions. The recall was recommended after the state says K&C refused to undergo the voluntary recall process. The meat products were packaged on various dates from April 6, 2018 to July 24th. They were sold to various restaurants, individuals, and businesses in the Missoula area and bear a state inspection mark. Well, more to come here on the statewide Noon News this Thursday. Some House Republicans moved to impeach the Deputy Attorney General overseeing the Mueller investigation. We'll have details from Washington, but first, Ed's in with a full look at the forecast as we get closer to the weekend. We'll be right back.
You're watching MTN News with Samantha Harrelson, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and Farm and Ranch News from the Northern Ag Network. This is the Noon News on Q2, Montana's news leader.